Hello, the Blue Avians are here. It is Ir and I'm joined by Era. And let us say that we've had to ourselves muddle through crowds of beings who are gathering to witness this channeling, and in fact, many channelings by light workers, for they feel that this is the primary source of truth and universal reason that is coming through to your world amidst this confusion that you speak of. And so, as you can imagine, these beings are concerned about the level of confusion, and as such, they want to contribute in clearing it. And they want to be part of the truth that comes through. And so, while of course you and Kate are not channeling this large crowd, they are here to themselves be informed, and they are here to contribute to the greater collective consciousness of humanity. And much of that information is also being funneled through to us so that it can come through Kate. And so know that you all have an abundance of support and admirers. For yes, they are in awe of humanity, the courage that humanity has demonstrated, particularly that of the truth tellers, the light workers. We shall even say the frontliners. For there are frontliners who are actively involved in the battle between the light and dark forces. This battle is happening multidimensionally and at so many levels. Even at the individual level, there are dark and light forces fighting to sway the choice of each individual. Of course, the light is trying to help individuals see and choose the light, but the dark is trying to sway them. And so for many individuals, the confusion persists. The media is simply adding to that confusion. But needless to say, this conflict, and we do not like to use that word, but in essence, we must speak the truth. This is a conflict. It is happening multidimensionally at the collective consciousness and within the individual consciousness of so many. And so these beings are in awe of this conflict that so many humans have chosen to experience, to partake in, and to lead. For the light workers are on the frontier of this mass expanding consciousness. They are guiding it towards a lighter polarity, but there is much dross, there is much heaviness. And so the light workers have had to work extra hard. And so they are being supported by growing crowds of light beings, whether angelic or extraterrestrial. There is such support, awe, and love and admiration for all of you, no matter what your part, what your role, or what your contribution. But we would like to take this opportunity to express to you our deep gratitude. For we know that the experience is difficult. Even for light workers, there are moments of confusion. You are not fully immune. You are simply equipped to rise above the confusion. That is the difference. And so we commend you for rising above and staying above it, not only for yourselves, but for those that you serve, for those that you support, guide, and lead.
Thank you. Beautifully expressed. Wow, thank you so much.
And we would like to say, we are showing Kate a visual, that right now we are seeing three masses along the spectrum of polarity. There is the dark that is falling ever so lower, and there is the light which is rising ever so highly. And in the middle, the greatest mass of all is a mass of confusion. And so this is a tug of war. This is what we spoke of a few moments earlier about a conflict occurring on so many levels. There is a giant ball of gray in the middle, and we see so many souls muddling through, trying to come up for air, and they gasp as they do. And it is as if though the light workers fish them out as soon as they emerge for air, and you pull them with you into the brighter, clearer polarity. The ones that come up for air may be those who attend your events, read your posts, read information that is not fed to them from the media. Those who in a moment of meditation rise in consciousness enough so that they may be fished up and rescued by the light forces, and as such triggers their awakening. It is a rise in consciousness, and the battlefield is this pit of confusion. And this pit will continue for some time, but in time it will thin. And we would like to say that for now, the prediction is that the majority of individuals will align with the light. But there are some who will be won over by the fear, the anger, and the confusion of the dark. And when this cloud clears and everyone has been more fully aligned by choice, this will trigger ascension. It cannot happen with this confusion. The confusion must lift enough for people to make a choice. And when the masses, for we see at this point, there will be masses who will join the light, and as such, their soul and their consciousness will brighten and lift. That will be the tipping point that will trigger ascension. And so for some time to come, humanity and Earth will be actively battling through this confusion. But the light forces have more pull, they have more power. They are a magnetic force that so many will flock to. It is already written that the light has and will win. But the question and the battle remains with so many individuals who have not yet made their choice, who do not even know that there is a choice to be made. And as such, as Andreas has mentioned to you some time ago, it is important in your messages to the masses that you inform them of this choice. And it does not need to be presented as gloom or doom, do or die. No, this can be presented to the masses, that they must choose kindness, a better existence, that they must find joy amidst this confusion, by virtue of finding calm and joy and of being the love they wish to see amidst this confusion. That is enough to pull them towards the light polarity. It does not need to be a conscious choice about ascending, for many do not even know and understand ascension. At this point in the battle, in the game, it is a choice of choosing joy, love, and kindness. It is that simple, and as such it must be presented in simple ways, in simple language. For this is where you will win over many who are still buried by confusion and in receipt of conflicting messages. Does this answer your question as to how you can help shape and thin the confusion? And we would like to offer or suggest a tool or a light challenge that may come to the masses through you. Our challenge is that we will encourage humanity to turn off their news for 5 days. We understand for many this will be difficult. But we will invite them to focus upon how lighter they feel at the end of the 5 days, how calmer, how clear, how happier and more secure they feel. And this in itself will be telling to them, for they will understand the negative energy that is fed to them from the media. There are many ways to be informed without needing to hold out your bowl and have it be filled with fear for your consumption, for that is exactly what so many are doing unknowingly. Let this be the 5-day no media challenge. And we would encourage people to make a note of how they feel on day 1 versus day 5. The results will be tremendous and palpable. And we feel that in that time, many will trigger their own awakening, because their entourage, their guides, their angels, their beings, their higher selves will be able to permeate and penetrate through this layer of confusion, and will be able to speak directly to the core essence of these individuals. We challenge humanity to no media.
Wow. So when you say no media, you mean no media, no YouTube, no internet, no TV.
We mean no mainstream news, whether it be televised or read on the internet. For the mainstream is the mainstream of darkness and confusion, and what may help them if they are having a difficult time overcoming their addiction to their devices or the internet, then give them some suggestions for light-filled websites that they may go to, whether they be meditations, prayers, feel-good stories about how people are coming together during this pandemic. For there are so many more positive stories than there are of not. But your mainstream does not want you to know about the good, for it counters their agenda. But there are many, many websites that are sharing heartwarming stories about generosity, kindness, and a coming together at a grander level, more so than ever before. This is what people need to tune into.
Love it. Thank you.
We are honored. Thank you and blessings to you.
Blessings.
Thank you for your attention to these important matters. For more information and the latest channelings or transcripts, please go to www.ascensioncalling.com.